I'd like to start with the data we just got and data we saw earlier this week. And the existing home sales are falling. Finally, prices fell for existing home sales and for the median price. But we saw retail sales come in weak. We saw the ISMs come in weak. Is the economy unfolding as you thought it would?
Well, welcome, Mike, to Kansas City. Yes, I think the economy is responding to some of the forecast and some of the work that the Federal Reserve is doing to try to bring better balance between supply and demand. And of course, as rates have gone up, it always hits most directly, I think, real estate markets, and in particular, we've seen that in housing, where mortgage rates have doubled. So these trends, I think, are to be expected in that sector in particular.
Well, a lot of your colleagues have said they're paying more attention to current rate measures than to the data that comes out in the CPI and PCE price measures because it's lagged. Why don't you just sort of ignore the idea of the core rate? Because everybody comes out and says, well, inflation's too high, you look at the core rate. But you know that's influenced by housing, and if you take that out, it seems inflation's coming down faster than you thought.
I think it's encouraging to see, because we've seen this in the goods sector of the economy. That inflation has been coming down. I think when we look at the housing component of that, we can see toward this year that should be, again, coming off some of its highs. I think right now, for me, the focus has really been on the services sector and the inflation pressures that we continue to see there. So the direction, I think, is a good one. Inflation is still well above the Fed's target, and so to be true to that price stability mandate, it looks like we'll have to be a little more patient to see if we're on the right trend and going to be there more convincingly to that 2% target.
Well, what would it take to convince you?
So I think, again, looking to the component of the market right now where we continue to see a lot of pressure. Labor markets are very tight. I hear that when I go around the region talking to our contacts there. So I think the pressures we see in the services sector look likely to continue. We know that spending is continuing. People are still traveling a lot and taking advantage of that. So I think that would be a component where I'd want to see some progress before having more confidence that we're seeing inflation come down.